They had been on the train for 4 days and nights when a woman got on with a wire cage containing 6 red hens. The chickens squawked and cackled, and when they flapped their wings, tiny russet feathers floated around the car. The woman sat opposite Mamma and Hortensia, and within minutes she had told them that her name was Carmen, that her husband had died and left her with 8 children, and that she had been at her brother's house helping his family with a new baby. "Would you like dulces, sweets?" she asked Esperanza, holding open a bag. Esperanza looked at Mamma, who smiled and nodded her approval. Esperanza hesitantly reached inside and took out a square of coconut candy. Mamma had never permitted her to take candy from someone she didn't know before, especially from a poor person. "Señora, why do you travel with the hens?" asked Mamma. "I sell eggs to feed my family. My brother raises hens, and he gave these to me." "And you can support your large family that way?" asked Hortensia. Carmen smiled. "I am poor, but I am rich. I have my children. I have a garden with roses. And I have my faith and the memory of those who have gone before me. What more is there?" Hortensia and Mamma smiled, nodding their heads, and after a few thoughtful moments, Mamma was blotting away stray tears. The 3 women continued talking as the train passed fields of corn, orange orchards, and cows grazing on rolling hills. They talked as the train traveled through small towns where peasant children ran after the caboose, just for the sake of running. Soon Mamma was confiding in Carmen, telling her all that had happened with Papa and Tio Luis. Carmen listened and made clucking noises like one of her hens, as if she understood Mamma and Esperanza's problems. Esperanza looked from Mamma to Carmen to Hortensia, and she was amazed at how easily Carmen plopped herself down and plunged into intimate conversation. It didn't seem correct somehow. Mamma had always been so proper and concerned about what was said and what was not. In Aguascalientes, she would have thought it was inappropriate to tell an egg woman their problems. Yet now she didn't hesitate. "Mamma," whispered Esperanza, taking a tone she had heard Mamma use many times, "do you think it is wise to tell a peasant our personal business?" Mamma tried not to smile. She whispered back, "It's all right, Esperanza, because now we are peasants too." Esperanza ignored Mamma's comment. What was wrong with her? Had all of Mamma's rules changed since they boarded this train? When they pulled into Carmen's town, Mamma gave her 3 of the beautiful lace carpetas she had made. "For your house," she said. Carmen gave Mamma 2 chickens in an old shopping bag that she tied with string. "For your future," she said. Then Mamma, Hortensia, and Carmen hugged as if they had been friends forever. "Buena suerte." "Good luck," they said to one another. Alfonso and Miguel helped Carmen with her packages and the cage of chickens. When Miguel got back on the train, he sat next to Esperanza near the window. They watched Carmen greet her waiting children, several of the little ones scrambling into her arms. In front of the station, a crippled Indian woman crawled on her knees and her hand outstretched toward a group of ladies and gentlemen who were finely dressed in clothes like the ones that used to hang in Esperanza and Mama's closets. The people turned their backs on the begging woman, but Carmen walked over and gave her a coin and some tortillas from her bag. The woman blessed her, making the sign of the cross. Then Carmen took her children's hands and walked away. She has 8 children and sells eggs to survive. Yet when she can barely afford it, she gave your mother 2 hens and helped the crippled woman, said Miguel. The rich take care of the rich, and the poor take care of those who have less than they have. But why does Carmen need to take care of the beggar at all? Said Esperanza. Look, only a few yards away is the farmer's market with carts of fresh food. Miguel looked at Esperanza, wrinkled his forehead, and shook his head. There's a Mexican saying. Full bellies and Spanish blood go hand in hand. Esperanza looked at him and raised her eyebrows. Have you never noticed, he said, sounding surprised. Those with Spanish blood, who have the fairest complexions in the land, are the wealthiest. Esperanza suddenly felt guilty and did not want to admit that she had never noticed or that it might be true. Besides, they were going to the United States now, and it certainly would not be true there. Esperanza shrugged. It is just something that old wives say. No, said Miguel. It is something the poor say.